so much important and informative stuff from how Doge will be helping the future generation, tips about how to land proper job interviews, how to excel inside the actual interview itself. What else did we talk about?
Yeah, we talked about hiring. We talked about tips to work with big tech. We
Yeah,
talked about Doge, obviously.
founder
Juicy
struggles.
episode. Juicy episode. So you'll grab some popcorn, kick back, relax. You'll enjoy this one.
Yeah, we also brought up just to finish off like founder struggles, how to succeed in business, how to keep going, what is the reality behind building a SaaS, and obviously a bunch more. So we'll see you guys in the next one.
Guys podcast.
Welcome back, guys. I mean, we're here. We got a lot of cool stuff in the pipeline. I mean, let's get at it, Brith. I mean, before we get started, though, I always want to ask because this is a little bit off topic, but we're building a SaaS app. Many people think it looks cool. What do you think? I want to know your reality. Are you having fun building this? Is there anything you'd like to tell people who may be building a tool in the SaaS space who might be looking to make money right off the bat or like, think they're going to make a big exit? It's good.
It's
What do you have in your mind, man?
It's the analogy I would like to provide is something like an iceberg. So with every feature, everything you interact with, every piece of software, it's a whole mountain of tasks to get it just
Facts.
right. So the simpler something looks in reality, the more complex the process is to get there. So it's a lot of fun, a lot of work, but it's a lot of just really focus understanding how processes work. So you might think, okay, this app looks simple or this website looks simple to build, but it's just you have to understand that it's a fraction of what goes into it. So yeah, so that's a design principle
Why are
that
we doing it then if it's so hard? I just want to know why are you doing it? Why? Because you're smart. You worked in software. You can easily get a job that will pay you like 300K. I know if you like, obviously you try. So why this, man? Like this is torture.
it's torture, but it's good torture. That's how I would describe it.
So you're into like that stuff. You like the
I
thing.
just yeah, it's like no, it's pretty impulsive actually. Like I just on like unable to do anything else. Like in terms of just the anything slower, it's not my speed.
Got it. So
It's like a mission that we're like pirates if you think about it, and that's how I am naturally. That's my
for anybody watching, I guess another thing I like to say, as he said, like, he has to do it. 'Cause I think a lot of people sometimes money is not their motivator. He's wired to build something for himself. Sometimes there's just certain people, I think, in this world where you need to, like, when you're 80 years old and you're thinking, like, shit, I want to be able to build. I think for you, I notice you're very motivated or, like, inspired by Elon Musk. And that guy literally sits there and says, I'll never quit. It can get as hard as it gets. I don't care. That's not, he doesn't even understand, like, he doesn't create any other option to, like, just push through the pain and stuff. And I think it's not, but I'm going to be honest, I don't think 90% of the world can do that. So I think what you have, I agree with you. I'm on the same page, but not everybody could do that, man. Because I talk to people and they're like, why would I do that? And I'm like, shit, then why am I doing this? And then you think, like, okay, the positive side is I think you're right. We're doing something bigger than ourselves, maybe, but I'm willing to risk it. I think the risk appetite is there. Like, I'm willing to, like, live like shit, I guess, for whatever it takes just to play it out. And if it fails, I can always go back. I think you have a skill set too. And people don't realize that, guys, when you build like startups, you don't just waste your time. You're learning like sales, marketing, business, like, tech, product. It's actually learning it 10 times faster. And you're getting understandings of like connections. You're figuring out how to handle failure, emotional intelligence. I think you learn so much about yourself, man. I don't know. I always thought like that's an insane, really cool thing. I just wanted to start it off and let people know, like, but it's not what it looks like, guys. It's really hard. He says it too. Like he said, it's like an iceberg. So think about it. Every step you get, it's not like I'm gonna work for 3 months and boom, money's there. You're getting 100 million ARR, some jets, across the, whatever people show online. But we're wired,
Yeah,
some
it's
we're
like
wired something.
a lot of inputs to get a certain amount of output. So if you want to get one customer, for example, you'll probably have to reach out to thousands or hundreds of people at least. If you want one feature done well, you'll have 10 iterations of that feature. So that's how I would think about it. Just a lot of input versus output, and that's a good way to think about systems in life in general. So
I agree, and I agree, and I think if we keep doing that, we'll accomplish a lot more than what we're doing at Nexa. I think that attitude only certain people have, and those are the people that create innovation on Earth, like literally for human beings. And you need that like switch, like, hey man, I'm not motivated by quick. Like I can easily like I don't know if it's like we can say this or not, but Like you can easily sell like illegal stuff on the streets, and be that. That's if you want to make money. Why would anyone
You
want
can
to
make
do
a
this?
shit coin, like a meme coin.
Yeah, you can do a pump and dump.
Right.
Like you can easily do a pump and dump and influence somebody and
Oh,
make
you
money.
seen Javier Milei the other last week? He released a meme coin. Kind of, he rugged everyone. That was funny.
This was the is this the
That was crazy.
Ecuadorian prime minister, right?
Oh,
Or
that's the
El Salvador?
yeah,
I
not
don't
El
not sure.
Salvador. I think Argentina.
Argentina, shit.
Yeah,
Sorry, yeah, Argentina.
he was like,
Yeah, he rugged people. Guys, a president rug pulled people from a meme coin before GTA 6 came out. That is like a
yeah,
career.
that's crazy.
You get rug pulled by a president before GTA 6. New one. That's
Yeah.
a new.
You invest in the
Can't
Hawk
believe he
Tuah
did
coin.
that. How does like? Sorry, what was that?
You invest in the Hawk Tuah coin.
She rug pulled pretty hard. I didn't. I would never invest in her. The only coin that I think I had a buddy. I saw him put 30,000 in Trump coin. He woke up with 850,000.
That was insane, bro.
Insane. That I should have. I
I
didn't have these
ran it up
alerts
a
from
little
that.
bit with Trump coin, but
Yeah.
not nearly as much as people who stayed up that night. So, but yeah,
He got obviously, meme coins are a gamble, bro. But like,
yeah.
there's people here that I'm seeing. Like, there's kids. The crypto. This is a great topic, by the way. Like, I want to let people know, guys. Like, crypto is an amazing, amazing to invest in. It's amazing to do. I believe in it just like you. I think blockchain is like I want to incorporate it in Nexa. I want a Nexa coin where the more you use our platform, we'll pay you out in these Nexa coins that you can use to get like free things and rewards. Like that was my always thing. I wanted, and also like verification. When you do certain simulations with us, like what if we can blockchain their hard work? Like, oh yeah, he's a verified. Like he did this project. It's blockchain verified. He didn't just copy and do some BS. Or the interview, we can do that. So it's just the meme coin stuff. There's kids out here. They're like 17, 18, 12 hours a day, fucking all week long, and they're hitting boom 200K. Boom, $1 million. And then you show that online, and the person goes, well, why am I working in construction when they're doing that? Or when girls are, you know how girls are, you spread your legs once online, OnlyFans, like that's pretty lucky to have that. No, seriously, I can't do that, bro. I can't get on the camera and be like, hey, but I don't have the power. But what girls come is they have an asset from day one, bro, or two assets, sorry, if you know what I'm talking about. So no, seriously, like, look, I'm not, and I don't mean it in a bad way. If this is, I'll put this online. Some girls use it and some girls don't, but we live in an age where that is possible, dude. That Sophie reigned $43 million in a year. I'm not hating, go for it, like whatever. But it makes people that work in construction, when they're building the city, when they're working in that pipelines, we should value them too, man, because they're actually building America. They're building foundation of places that, and they I feel like, they look different, right? They look down upon it. They're gonna feel different about it. What if people are gonna see that and be like, why should I work? So many of these kids don't want to work because they think that that's like, it's so instant, bro. Social media, man. So that's the problem. I don't know. I always saw that. I was like,
Yeah,
that's weird.
all kind of jobs like are super important from blue collar because like that's a lot of the manufacturing industrial base of any country. Like the
Big
actual
respect to
like
them, man.
getting dirty with your hands. That's a
I always
huge
respect
part
these
of
guys. Yeah,
income.
Like I see construction workers, I'm like respect, appreciate it. Like plumbers, anybody in the blue collar, big respect, because you're right. Or oil rigs, like all the landmans and people doing all that stuff. Like it's so much more respect. And I also at the same time I also respect like people in social media. I know it's not easy, but it's like there should be a way where I don't want them people like in that space to feel like, well, I'm working my ass off with physical labor, and this person just showed their vagina. And like one point, she got a $4 million tip from some billionaire. Now, who's wrong though? You know who I have to blame though. Once again, I don't want to blame. I'm using Sophie as an example, but who do you think's buying all these OnlyFans accounts and memberships? Probably guys, right? That are deprived. The more and more I'm seeing that, like that can be an issue too, and like shit, can't even blame them. It's our fault at the end of the day because we're purchasing it, right? If you look at the majority of the purchase in OnlyFans, 90% are men that pay for it. So what can I say now?
Yeah, I saw this startup idea that was like a CRM for like
OnlyFans management.
OnlyFans.
That's actually a great idea. I even thought of doing that because somebody approached me. I have a buddy. He's like, "Hey, I started OFM. I don't know if we can say this even. I don't know. I hope it doesn't get monetized. But yeah, he did OFM, and he said he had like basically like there was like 10 to 12 models, and they would kind of help them market their stuff. And I'm like, well, imagine you had a CRM for that. It would be so much easier for your leads and stuff. But
Imagine going to a VC and like, okay, I'm doing a CRM for only
that's the
OnlyFans.
challenge, right? I think with OnlyFans, even to this day, they're not allowed on the App Store, obviously, because of what they do. So it's a web application, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It is what it is, man. I mean, guys, like I just want to say, like it doesn't matter what job you're doing, you shouldn't. It's supposed to be hard. Like it's supposed to be a challenge when you're coming up in your career, especially trying to get into tech. You can ask for when I did cybersecurity. I'm pretty sure Brit will tell you the same thing. I don't think it was a fancy ride going to like USC and learning software and doing that. It's not something that's supposed to you do like one class or one cert, and you're like, well, why am I getting hired? Like everybody wants instant gratification. gratification. Everybody wants to get into tech, but nobody wants to break the wall and say, put in work day after day after day, practice interviews, understand how it's done. Like, and we know that that's cool. I get it. You don't want to, I get it. It's hard and maybe it's, it's an unknown, but be
Yeah,
willing to put in the work.
it's like people want to get into tech, but at the same time, you see their GitHub and it's like empty for like
Empty ghost town,
7 months
bro.
and like
Ghost
one
town.
green square. I'm like,
Yeah.
come
Um,
on, man.
yeah, like
At least have like one push a week,
fair
maybe.
game. And
Yeah.
like even I'm not an expert, but we made like I know why Nexa was there. Like I realized that some people maybe just need a push or maybe need a place where instead of going to Google's deep sea of just like constant information overload, you have a dedicated place where you don't have to just go through courses. You can actually like learn information, do interviews, do like job search. So you still got to put in the work. Like, people don't even want to do that. They're so, and I can't, if that's the case, I tell people, you know what, I can't even complain if you don't find your like target role or your dream career because you don't even want it bad enough yourself. You're looking for it to land in your lap when your competition is so hungry though, day after day, they're probably willing to apply, willing to do this, whether it's tech or whether it's, sales, and sales is so competitive too. Like you got to put in the work, guys. I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure you and your colleagues, you mentioned you had a buddy that sold his company for a pretty good amount. I'm pretty sure he probably put in a lot of work too. I don't think,
Yeah, it was like a space company like launching rockets. Not Elon, but
I
another
think I
guy.
saw his rocket crash or
Um,
something.
but yeah, no, he's been working on that
Yeah.
idea for 10 years. Like
Seriously. Okay, that's amazing. See, that's another thing I wanted to ask you, dude. Sometimes, and maybe this is my fault because I'm
maybe
quick
not
to.
10 years, maybe 7, 8 years, but
Even
yeah.
then, man, like, look, after it's only been maybe a year and a half with Nexa, and even when we have like some slow or like tough weeks or challenges, even I'll be like, I'll look to you and I'll be like, listen, maybe it's a nice to have problem. It's not a problem. And I know that the truth is, you're not supposed to have that. The mindset truly is quit tomorrow and never quit, and you have to keep going until you like absolutely just you're out of something where you have to fail. Even then, that's not a failure. You just come back again. But your mindset is good on that. Where you're like, it doesn't matter. We find something, we find a different avenue. You gotta keep going. And sometimes just riding that wave for 1 or 2 weeks, you end up finding something else or something else comes. And that's a good skill I learned. And through entrepreneurship is just be patient and don't quit. But when things make you want to quit, I say wait, step away and come back again and come back again. And even Elon says that. So I think it's a good trait you have too. Because I think you're very focused on like, no man, it's not about necessarily quitting. It's more so let's ask other questions, let's figure out ways we can pivot. And that's what makes people win. Because I know we have competition, but I feel like at our rate and our level of just like we're insane with our work-life balance. We have zero. We're literally crazy. Who can really want to challenge us if we show up again and
Exactly.
again? I was gonna, you know what I was gonna do one time? I was gonna message my competitor and say, hey, I found you out. You're a competitor of ours in the Toronto space. Guess what? I'm gonna beat you, and I'm gonna like I was gonna say that, but I didn't say it yet because I'm like it's not the nicest thing. I'm thinking to say something nicer like, hey, you're a direct competitor. Maybe we should connect. But then again, I don't care. I rather focus on a product, be the best product. I'm not gonna say that. That's kind of weird. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's like a confluence of different things. It's a bunch of different things. It's like product focus, customer focus, main thing, but at the same time, it's a dog eat dog. Like you have competitors, you
I
gotta
like
win. So
Bro, I
yeah.
like what Jeff Bezos said. He's like, I'm not competition focused. I'm literally customer focused. And from day one, I said his idea never changed. These guys used to interview him and say the most weirdest shit to throw him off. Like, hey, you said you were an internet company. Why are you opening a distribution warehouse? He's like, what do you mean internet company? He goes, it happens to be the internet. People are on the internet. You can create a software that shows people what we do on the internet, and that's about it. It's not about the internet. People get that so weird. It's like, dude, just because your internet is just there because everybody's on it and it's scalable. We're not on the internet because it's like we're selling like it's the internet. It's cool. It's because it's scalable. It's easy. It brings people together. People really miss the point of what is like SaaS, what is cloud. Like guys, it's just a tool that connects people faster. Him building his warehouse doesn't change the fact that it's for customers, and that's why
And
it's a
and I feel like that same cycle is happening with AI and large language models right now. People are thinking about, okay, what is the model layer? Like this one, this one. Right now, you don't think that much about what your internet service provider is. It'll be the same thing in 10 years. You will easily like you won't even think about what model you're using. It'll be sort of in the background and seamlessly aid your
I
functions, your
agree.
daily
I
tasks.
completely agree. It's just gonna be like every app will be running it. You're not gonna worry about how it's generating that intelligence. You're just gonna just use whatever value you get out of the intelligence. I agree. Like I'm not gonna look at this app and say, "What are you using, Claude?" Or like, "Oh." And one thing I hope doesn't happen is I want to see, although it's gonna be hard, I don't just want Sam Altman's OpenAI and Claude and Google and Llama. Like I want to see like at least 50 different types of models because there's no way I'm gonna let these guys again run they already run like so much control. If we manage to get them to control artificial intelligence, I don't think it's going to be good for anybody in either whether us coming up, like, because how do we compete? Well, it's challenging, right? If some, it's just, I don't know, man. I want that to be like, there should be more LLMs in this space. There should be so many LLMs where it's like, it's not a competitive landscape, but just for the sake of progressing technology in terms of AGI, right? Like,
Yeah,
so
it seems like right now there's only five of them that matter. When last week actually Elon's Grok kind of took the lead, which is cool to
somebody
see.
said that to me, and then I tried it. I didn't see that. So, but I'm down to like play with it again. Maybe we should do a benchmark. Like, what I
Yeah,
think
we
we
should
should.
do. Yeah.
Maybe we should do. You know what we can do for our next episode? We can also do like a live testing. But I wanted to move on to a. Somebody asked me this. Now, do you think? And I like I said, I don't know, but do you think cover letters are still needed in 25?
Oh, bro, cover letters are, pardon my language, but retarded. Like, especially from the job seeker perspective, I'm already applying, I'm already checking all these boxes, and unless,
Now, a question though. Do you feel like they actually? You said you did some recruiting. Do people actually read the cover letter?
okay, so from the recruiter's perspective, it's if you mandate the cover letter, obviously people will submit the cover letter. But if you don't, it's super rare. So unless it's I guess it's more of the job requirement. Like if you want to make people go through another hurdle that's probably a little pointless, sure, make them write the cover letter. But yeah, overall, like I'm from a job seeker perspective, I think it's pretty pointless. But from the recruiter employer's perspective, I can see why it might be useful. Like from the perspective of if I don't mandate it and someone still submits it, that shows high agency, high
Okay, but what about
proactivity.
this? Shouldn't we remove it? And I think what would be better is why not just send a 30-second clip?
Oh
I
yeah,
think
like a
it's
yeah.
more efficient. It shows you because cover letter I can AI it. It's so easy to AI that and say, hey, thank you for blah blah
Yeah,
blah.
it takes
Hold
like
on.
10 seconds. Yeah.
Now send me a 30-second clip of you quickly. Hey, here's why I'm good in 30. That will be a game changer. I would
Show
actually,
me show me you're the actual person that's
bro.
writing the
We have
application.
that in Nexa too, where with your
Exactly.
client you can submit a video. Like it makes it. Like I said, guys, what we're doing is we're reinventing a very undisrupted industry on how to truly find right talent and how talent can find the right way, where it's not just relying on what I say false words. And I could be wrong, but it's better to try it. And if it fails, we pivot. And that's the way I see it. I think 30-second clip get screened. If you talk all this on your resume, cool, just show it to us for 5 minutes, right? And then all of a sudden people are like, oh, that's like come on, man, it's way
It's too
better.
much work. All right, then you're probably not gonna get the job, jackass.
Exactly. Like what I'm trying to say is like AI can easily write a cover letter. So I don't know why it's needed. I still
Exactly.
will say when I test job applications, at least 10% I'm seeing are still asking for that. And the worst part is, guess what, guys, or whoever's watching, sometimes when I apply, I'll just apply my resume. When it says submit your cover letter, I'll just attach my resume for a second time because I'm not sending a cover letter. And the weirdest part is I actually still got reached out before. Meaning you guys actually don't care. You're just making a stupid process for no reason, which makes no sense. Why make it more harder for people to connect with you guys? I don't know, man. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, there's so much inefficiency on both ends here. So yeah,
Oh,
that's
since I mean you're in the game too, guys. By the way, but that's a lot of technical recruiting experience and all that. So I wanted to see if maybe someone's watching, maybe they can get some help from this. Now, what's one hack that can get someone a job faster than traditional applications? What do you think?
yeah. So the fastest way in today's job market is warm referrals, and that is tough to hear because it's sort of like a gatekeeper way. But obviously, you want to make your application as good as possible. Perfect resume that's customized for the role. Great interview, great experience, all that. That's cool. That'll get you level 2, level 1 almost. But if you want to nearly 10x, underrated way is let's see on LinkedIn who is in that
Got
position
it.
in that company already,
Got
and
it.
basically talk with them, learn more about the role, and from that perspective, you can have 3, 4, 5x way of getting into that
I
position.
think I
It's
totally
super
agree. I was gonna ask
underrated,
you
not
too.
very discussed, but
Yeah,
yeah.
because I was gonna say, because I was gonna be like, where do you think they should reach out? So you're saying, I guess guys, you got to get your LinkedIn, I guess, popping and make sure it's obviously good as well. I think LinkedIn is the new for corporate roles, like the Instagram, right? I know a lot of recruiters will check your LinkedIn as well than your resume. So when you're doing this kind of outreach, you can find whatever employer, whatever job posters. I think that's a way better than just applying because if anybody can vouch for you internally, it's usually seen as more, precedence. And I guess to take it a step further in terms of advice, the best thing I would message, because a lot of these people are really open if you try it, just literally, like you said, 4 or 5 people and say like, hey, I have a lot of skills here. I think I can be an asset from day one. Would you mind let the hiring manager know? Hey, we're putting me to the interview. A lot of times, like I said, these guys, it doesn't really bother them. And a lot of times I notice they'll either do it or they'll ignore you. So there's no negative value from doing it. So why aren't you doing it? Right.
Yeah,
So
there's nothing to lose if you're the candidate to try try this. It's a method. So what if they don't respond? You're back where you were. So, and if it works, cool, you get the job. So a lot of things work like that.
So, I mean, one more thing then, because I know you have a degree in computer science, right? Okay, cool.
Business,
Sorry, which one?
business and CS.
Business. You had a dual degree?
Yeah, both.
Okay, dope. So, wow, that's sick. Now, I was in University of Toronto and I left to pursue IT. Do you think employers, a lot of employers will say this, and when you look at their lines, they'll say in technology specifically, they'll be like computer science degree is required or equivalent experience. Do you think we really need that degree? Like, what does it do? And I'm coming from you because you have one. So, did you really need one? And if not, could you like, do you think it should be removed from job applications or does it add value? I'm just curious to know because you have one.
I think it's so overrated. All the materials out there, the whole corpus of human
Damn,
knowledge is
you
out
moved
there.
on.
It's so overrated. Show me your GitHub. Show me what you've built. Like that.
Oh,
Show
got
me.
it.
But there's still a value to it. In terms of showing that you can kind of go through kind of rigorous coursework, which is cool. But yeah, I'd say GitHub and kind of like along those lines is
You can
probably
learn it
more.
yourself, you're saying, if you put in the effort.
Yeah,
Now,
GitHub. And yeah, just in a conversation with you, if you have kind of technical kind of prowess, technical depth, another.
and some, so you say, so GitHub, I agree. So do you think you can make six figures then from like just YouTube and GitHub if everything works the right way? You're actually putting in effort. Do you think there's a
Yeah,
possibility
so
that you can?
credential from that perspective is probably a little important. So it's way more important than it should be, is what I'm saying. Like it should be
I get
less
what you mean. You're
because
saying the credential helps open the door, but technically, if you have
yeah.
the same experience, it's going to be a lot harder to open the door, which I agree
Exactly.
shouldn't
So
be
that's
like
why a
that.
lot of boot camps exist. So to have that sort of, even if it's a compressed time window, 2, 3 month period where you just get some kind of credentials in the space helps to get your foot in the door. But obviously, how you perform in an interview and kind of your GitHub and all that helps you further.
Okay. Now, for a lot of people watching, they might not have the time or opportunity or requirements to do a computer science degree or just a degree in general. So if you were starting again, you had to get hired fast, maybe make some decent money because everybody's doing it for money. Maybe what would you do? And maybe, if somebody's listening, maybe they can take some value because, and what I mean is like, you don't have the time to do a degree or the money. What would you do if you had to make some money?
I would see what I'll just go online and start building things and look at kind of the corpus of knowledge out there. Maybe take a couple of courses online. Just start testing, getting your hands dirty a little bit. That is a base. Maybe attend a boot camp if you need. So yeah, just try as many things as you need like online. 'Cause there's so many different kind of resources. That's one thing. Obviously you can buy books in the space. You can talk with people who are already in the space. So it's a lot of different things.
Fair game. I think on my end, the fastest way, if I'm being honest, guys, or like here's what works for me is get into sales right away from day one. If you need money fast and you're looking for a skill, help a company or a service or whatever it is sell their product and watch how fast. Yeah, absolutely it's tedious, it's a little bit challenging, but it doesn't require a degree, it doesn't require much information. It requires persistence and just communication and get paid well and fast and right away. I would pick up the phone, find somebody selling a product or a high ticket service and say, hey, work for free on a commission basis. And then maybe once you prove yourself, you can obviously start figuring out like bases and other additional salaries and watch. You'll start making money through cold calling or whatever you're doing, closing calls, getting meetings. That is the fastest way I think anybody can make money, no matter what they're doing, is sales. Help somebody sell their product, take a cut. That's it. It's that simple. Help somebody sell a service, take a cut. Help somebody sell a product, take a cut. Nothing more to it.
Exactly. That's what you can also think of it a headhunter as doing something similar because they bring in the talent to a company externally and they get a cut of that commission. So
As well, yeah, fair game.
so sales are important in all aspects of a business. You need sales to sell the product. You need sales to bring on team members. You need sales to sell investors. So everything other than pure building a product in a company is sales. So it's
I
just
agree.
sales and tech, whole thing.
That's it. Product sales. And even I'll say while you're building product, can you even sell the product for anybody watching looking to build something? Make sure that's your focus. Go out there and ask questions to say, is what I'm offering as a service, is it a burning enough problem that someone's willing to pay? And if they are, figure out how serious it is. The best example I use again and again is like, I think YC, they say this too, right? They said, is it a high frequency and high intensity problem? Example, when you're stuck somewhere, you got to go somewhere, you don't have a car. Yeah, you need a ride. At that moment in my head, head, I'm like, shit, I need to go right now. So if I can press my button and get the hell out of it, I'll pay because I need to go. I need to go to a party. I need to go with my friends. I need to go. You'll pay. It's a high intensity and it's a frequent problem. So you keep using the service over and over again, which I think it's amazing. Even though they're not a lot profitable, they have a lot of revenue, and that's genius. And I'll say that with I think even Airbnb. If I'm going out, can't get a hotel, dude, I need to stay somewhere. I will pay for that, and take a cut out of it. And we can name so many like that. Like, and there's also some that are not like that are very successful too. But at the same time, maybe not. Like, I'll give you an example. OnlyFans is not really a high requirement of a soft. But if you look at the user's perspective, if you're horny, shit, you're gonna do whatever it takes in that moment to get what you want, and that's why they pay, right? They're capitalizing and monetizing off your psychological behavior, and they know that you're weak, that you can't control yourself, and I gotta rate them. That CEO is a digital pimp, and I rate him because shit makes $1 billion a year
Yeah,
revenue.
so that product shows that a lot of the B2C products, they take advantage of like the seven deadly sin is how you want to think about it. So
Always, I agree,
yeah,
always, man, and
yeah.
and yeah, shit. Well, I mean, it is what it is. Gotta keep
Yeah,
going,
so
right?
I've another interesting question. What is the wildest interview question you ever got in a job interview?
Trying to think. Yeah, I mean, probably when I was doing job interviews before, the wildest question. I think the wildest question was for this cybersecurity role. I think it was because the hiring manager, he was a bit of the best way I can say, he's like a flamboyant kind of guy. Like, he was just kind of out there, and he was just, and this was in person, by the way, guys, pre-COVID, before you guys doing remote interviews. So imagine being in person, and this person's like, it's like technical, right? So he's like,
Was he like,
okay,
come on in?
he's like, I'm gonna give you 2 minutes. I want you to like explain to me how this infrastructure diagram works. And he's like, if not, give the pen to the person waiting outside. Shit, this is crazy. He's giving me 2 minutes to do it. And then I was trying to explain it, and luckily I was shaking, but like I was like, damn, because I was like new to this and I'm shaking in person. But he's like, good, you managed to figure it out. He goes, actually this is correct. Shit. Luckily I actually got that role. But another crazy one I always get is with like sales, and they ask like the most weirdest stuff. Something they'll be like, and it's the same thing. They're like, are you hungry? Are you an entrepreneur? How much are you of a hunter are you? And it's the same thing. They just want to see, like, basically they should just say this: will you be lazy if we hire you, or will you get us leads? They should just say that. Be honest. Why are you guys jumping around? Just say, hey, are you gonna put in the work or not? I mean, that's some of the crazy interview questions I get asked. I mean, I got a lot of weird, like, there was a lot of weird conversation, a lot of weird, like, requirements, some random stuff. I mean, because I used to do odd job. I don't know if you ever, like, I worked in factories before, like, Best Buy. Best Buy was a weird question too. They're like, can you just walk around the store and ask people like random questions about
So like
themselves?
be
And I
a
was like,
TikToker without the camera.
pretty much, bro. That was and you know what he said? He goes, we only asked that question to see if people weren't shy enough to do it and can approach customers, and we would hire those ones. Because like 10 people didn't do it, and it's like 5 people did. I was one of the five. Because that's why you guys got hired, because you guys did it. I was like, interesting. Because
Quick
obviously,
question, sir. What's the most amount of money you made in a single year?
oh, for me,
No, I'm just like showing
oh,
what
okay, okay. I
yeah.
mean, it's a good question. I mean, you work in tech, so you obviously, now that you're on the topic, I mean, whoever does tech, obviously it's because of the money, I think. Or obviously because it's interesting too, but like software engineers are known for making pretty decent money, I feel like, especially in anywhere you're from, like Cali, San Fran. San
Yeah,
Fran,
yeah.
forget,
If you look at OpenAI salaries, for example, they're
they're
doing
insane.
500 grand to 800 grand a
Yeah,
year.
yeah, they're insane. The 800, the senior machine learning researcher, that's probably, guys, there's some jobs that pay a lot of money, but this is what I wanted to ask you. A job like that pays amazing, but it's just not fun. It's a pretty, I would say, intense, boring, a lot of like data, nothing fancy about the job. But if you're crazy and you love that shit, you hit a lottery ticket. It's amazing. But I think 90% of the world doesn't, and that's why it's hard to find people that do that. Because you're researching numbers, man. You're literally researching like like raw data and trying to synthesize it and clean it, and you're doing that over and over again and over and over again and
Yeah,
finding
it's
ways.
like if you like it, then that's cool. But it's probably a fraction of people that are like it, and a fraction of that are good at it. So
So
it's definitely like a confluence of a multi-pronged
what
kind
do
of
you
a lot of
prefer then
factors.
for work? Is it like
Intersections.
money? Is it more remote? Like, what would you say? Like, I know everybody's outside is different, but for me, I'll rather take a cut and be remote because I think I can be more productive and it's more efficient in my lifestyle than like 5 days working for somebody. Unless you're paying me over 500,000, then I don't mind.
So it's an interesting question. So I'll break it down. So if it's a private, like private enterprise, I'm totally in favor of remote. Like if you're kind of like you're building cool stuff, you have a small team, etc., etc. However, and obviously big enterprises like Tesla, SpaceX, all that, they have their own culture and all that. But if you're, as you saw with Doge, bringing back Doge, so they're mandating federal employees to go back to the office. I think that's super important because you're talking about taxpayer money. So I'm subsidizing some people at home, sitting at home, just getting a government salary and sitting at home. So that's where the thing can come into question. You don't know how hard they're working or what they're even doing. So a lot of bureaucracy, a lot of bloat. So from that perspective, I don't think remote is good. But in general, like it's a
Good
private
thing we have a
enterprise.
remote office. We have a virtual office, so good thing for us, right?
Yeah.
Kumo
So
space.
yeah,
Um,
Kumo Space. Shout out Kumo Space. Not sponsored, but we would be open to
Yeah,
it.
not sponsored. Listen, yeah, by the way, would be open to one, but I want to say it does help in us to come together. But I just want to ask this because, somebody like, what's a job search trick that worked or that worked for us? Guys, I think the most common thing that I would recommend you doing, which I see 90% of people that we mentor that don't or come to platform is why don't people make proper resumes tailored to job? Now, if you feel like it takes time and it's manual, listen, I get it, but I think I'll give you a hint that can help you. And the best way I can say it is you want to use a tool or system that helps kind of make it easier. So for us, I'll tell you right now, trynexa.com literally will let you make as many resumes as you need. And that's one of my best tricks. Now, I'm not going to guarantee you the job. There's obviously other things that go in there, but you're asking me what trick gets you in the door. And that is have a tailored resume because that's going to open the door for the recruiter to say, oh, you're good on paper. Let me call you. From there, you can do your magic. But even if you need more help from there, obviously there's other stuff, but this is the first step. Get seen by the recruiter, guys. Get seen. Make the first cut. You need to make a proper resume. Stop being lazy. If you need a job and you're relying on it, do go for it. Come on, I don't know. What do you think, man?
No, I agree. It's you gotta. The problem is people are shotgunning 100 of the same one, so they gotta customize it for the role for the specific employer. So yeah, that's from that perspective. It's super important to know what you're applying for and have tailored kind of things. And obviously, AI can help with that.
Okay, and then on that topic, like, what's the worst job you think you ever had?
Oh,
I know for you, maybe you came from school, you're in tech. Like, did you ever
I
work?
did. I did a summer intern. I did a summer sales internship, in person sales in LA. Like
Okay,
we did like was it? So we sold like paper and printing materials for like Amazon Business, I believe.
okay.
And yeah, it was like we would like walk into like a business on in person, and you don't know if they're gonna be like, get the fuck off my property or something like that. And
Okay.
yeah, that happened a few times, but it's like the same getting used to
So you selling them paper?
no, getting them onto Amazon Business
Got it.
kind of
Got their
their
subscription, Amazon business
yeah,
subscription.
subscription Amazon Business, but they had the main opener was just getting them, hey, you got paper, you buy it from this kind of provider. So from the perspective of that, it was kind of like, yeah, it was interesting.
So that you would say that was the worst job you had?
Not worst, I would say like most
Annoying.
not
Dude, you have it
annoying,
pretty
I
good
would
then.
say
That's
like
not bad. Like that's
it's an
actually
adventure. It's kind of an adventure. So I wouldn't
yeah.
say I had any like
So I think that's a good job, man. I
that's a
think
good job. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. I mean, you probably didn't have any yet because you're
Yeah.
like well, you went straight
So
into
I'd say,
customer.
I mean, if I think of like a bad job, like in high school, I had like an internship where it was just data analysis, but like no one like talked to anyone, so just
Damn,
from a
dude,
boring
I'll still
perspective.
rate that as good, bro. Like data
But
analysis,
it
bro.
was like no, obviously no pay, but like at the same time, it's like no one, like I literally ask in the Slack, yo, what do I need to do? And like no
I mean, what are you
response.
doing? Yeah, dude, worst job though is factory. I was in a factory. Every second you're moving this window here, and then there's like you get 15 like two 15-minute breaks at lunch, and there's no stopping. That job when I did that for like I think we did that for like 30 days. We learned like it was my buddy with us. We're like, yeah, like, this is why we gotta work hard. And I'm like, this is why I'm getting in tech. Like that was the break. I thank myself for doing that because I'm like, yeah, like I see how people have it. We can use our brain better, and
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, and it can go the other way though. I know some people in like McKinsey, like investment banking, and they hate it too.
no,
So
of course, but like that's different. You might hate it for different reasons. I'm thinking it's like what was the worst experience? Like even if yeah, you hate McKinsey, but no, you don't hate the salary, do you? Right? So
that's
it's not
that's
really the worst job. I think the worst job is like yeah, like that was just dude. It was just like bad conditions, barely get a time to eat. It's like basically it's like legal slave. I don't know if I
Yeah.
can say it, but it is what it is. I mean, things need to get done. I mean, back on that, have you ever experienced a horrible boss? Like, did anybody like kind of put you down or moved you, like, didn't really, you're like, "Nah, I don't really want to work for this guy."
I feel like yeah, everyone goes through things like that, like management situations, like
I
yeah,
know. I remember
flat
thinking
tires.
of like, yeah, bro. I had one. He was such a micromanager, bro. Like, I'd come on my laptop. It was like network. It was a network analyst role. He'd be like, "Oh, like, did you send this email? Did you do that?" I'm like, bro, like, and I left when I was leaving because I didn't have anybody to fill. They kept saying, "Man, we'll match your salary. We'll do this." I'm like, I'm gone. I'm gone. I'm not coming here. The place that I found when I went to like another place, I'm like, whoa, they don't bother you. They're
Yeah,
like more chill, large. One thing about
and you end up being more productive that way. Like
yeah, yeah, 100%. I agree.
exactly.
Like, I don't know if you heard, like, I don't know. At one point, I was even doing like overemployed stuff, like, 3, 4. This is like a remote area, but I won't get in it too much. But it was legal. So I'll say that much, guys. But guys, if you ever heard of it in tech, overemployment, a lot of people, like, a lot of software engineers will do like 4 or 5 contracts and, pay.
Yeah, that was a big thing during COVID too.
Oh
Like
hell no! I knew people that are making 80 to 100,000 a month, 1.2 million a year. They were chilling. They were
yeah,
chilling. Like, I got four at one point. My max was four, and all legally. Like, when you're a contractor, you go to a company and say, "Hey, you're offering a project, or is it work?" They'll say, "Hey, we don't. Either you're not allowed or not." But I would either sometimes negotiate it in the clause, and that's what you kind of do to make it legit, and we're good. And then how I managed the work was you just gotta work, and it's hard, but you do it because of the reward. But yeah, man, that was actually fun. I know people can still do it. Did you ever rage quit before, like a video game or rage quit
oh, in
work?
a video game all the time,
No,
bro.
no, like
Like
actual job though.
Super Smash Bros. Brawl, like those got intense back in the day. Like
No, I'm saying, I'm saying, so you ever rage quit your job, bro?
oh yeah, a job. No,
These guys.
no, I thought you just meant like a video game. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, no, I know what you're saying. I know what you're
no,
saying.
no, I've never. Yeah, never.
Okay, what would you say to you?
I've heard of people do it though. Have you?
I never rage quitted when now, but like when I was like maybe like 17 to 20, a lot of jobs I went through agency. I just sometimes didn't show up. Like sometimes it'd be like, because it was like 2 week gigs, man. Like remember, like there's one, okay, we went to one place called, I don't know, it was like a casino and you had to like drive there. No, sorry, it was near the casino where we worked at and you're driving their cars and parking. It's like people park their cars for vacation. We move it around for them. So after a while, I'm like, I just didn't show up. I'm like, I don't even care to work here, like whatever. It was just all content like when we were much younger. So I was like, this is annoying, right?
Yeah.
Where else? Like so many small. This is like these are like small gigs, right? It's like gig work essentially. I was just young. I'm like, how do I make money? And then when I started realizing tech is there around like 19, I'm like, I'm just gonna focus heavily on like IT, cybersecurity, things like that. And then from there, it's just chill, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I don't know, guys. I hope all of this is like, I hope it's like valuable, or some people can learn from that and work. Like, guys, it's important to work. Just make sure you find the right skills and you got to put in the work, man. I think everything is possible. Even with software and business, like it's all possible. I think the biggest trait that I saw is not actually the product. It's what you also mentioned is like the persistence. He goes, how much can you take before? Because everyone says the same thing when I ask the big guys. They're like, it's not the product that kills the company. It's the founders. Either they fall out or somebody loses interest. Somebody does not even lose interest. They just physically like it because it is painful. It is hard, and sometimes it's a business, it's a sport. Sometimes you just physically can't even can keep up anymore. But I think if we're both sharp, I mean, or if you guys watching, if you're just persistence, man, you'll win. I think that's the number one defining trait. If I see that whatever life throws at you, you can, like, your wife yelled at you, maybe your kid slapped you in your face 5 minutes later, and something, your tire got messed up. Another bad news from your business, your shirt zipper cracked when you open the door of your car, but you still managed to put a smile on your face and get to work. Nobody can stop that guy, man. That I know, like that is, those kind of people are insane. And I tell them, if you keep getting down and you come up, you're gonna win, man. You're gonna win. So
Exactly. Smile through the pain for sure. A big part of it.
I mean, what else? What else can we talk about in a podcast? I mean, we got like a little bit of time. Got like 10 minutes. Anything about life? How do you feel about, like? I mean, this is a good topic, right? Because how do your parents feel? Like, because I know for me, they're like, dude, what are you doing? You had a good job. Why in the fuck did you leave that to start a company? You are the most dumbest person. But I'm like, you won't understand. So that's why I don't say anything. I don't get upset because I'm like, it's not your guys' fault. You came here and you had a different level of, and you have kids. It's different for us. It's like, I don't want to be in that same
Like
cycle.
a different perspective, like 100%, like risk tolerance.
Yeah, and my risk tolerance is right here. And they think like he'll get mad. He's like, why are you like living like? I'm like, dude, if I can live like shit for 2, 3, even 5 years to win, that is worth it to me. That is worth it. Like, you just gotta be right once. 10 business kids can fail. Got to be right. right once. Why are you guys so accustomed to your life where you can't see a disruption or go through pain for just a couple of years? It's okay. Like why is that so wrong? Why is that like looked down upon? Guys, it's supposed to be hard. It's supposed to be not everybody would build and run and be at the top of the game sitting there at the throne if it was so easy to build and solve problems for people.
Yeah, most people who made it in like this space, they have 3, 4 projects that they've tried didn't happen. On the fourth one, on the third one, something like that, that's where they work. So
Well, I
yeah.
mean, I feel like people like depends. Like, see, when I'm married, sometimes like it takes a toll on everyone else. Like, you're single, right? Or you have a girlfriend, or
Complicated situation.
complicated,
Yeah.
complicated. So basically, he's messing around with plenty. I mean, for you, it's
No,
good.
no,
Yeah, enjoy it, man. Enjoy it. Why not,
no,
right?
I just like texting like a one. So
Okay, cool.
yeah,
Do your thing, bro. Do your thing. I mean, but yeah, from
yeah,
that topic, I mean, I guess it is what it is, right? Like you said, it in summary, risk tolerance. Not everybody will understand it. My point of the saying that was, guys, even if people don't understand you and they're your family, maybe you feel upset that your family doesn't understand you because you're so close to them. That's very normal. They're not going to understand you. Your friends are not going to understand you. Nobody will, which is why I feel lonely. But having other co-founders or having people in the community that I wanted to create of other founders, that's where you'll find your safe haven. Look for that kind of stuff because there is people like you. I promise. Not it's a good thing that you're seeking. You want to do. You have a big dream. You're seeking big challenges that are hard. That's what builds you, and you're gonna learn a lot about you. So I think it's cool. I'm not saying that it's gonna be easy. I'm not saying it's gonna be a good journey. If I'm being honest here, you're probably gonna face a lot of pain and challenges, and it's gonna be pretty fucked up. But all I can say is I salute you guys for trying and showing up. That's something I'll always rate, and I respect that. For anybody watching, building something, it takes a different level of self-awareness and just risk tolerance, like you said, to go out and make that
exactly. And if
happen.
you're building something useful to society, useful to humanity, it's always huge respect.
Who
That's
knows?
what we need more of in society.
Yeah, we need more of you, and who knows? Maybe you'll be next to Elon and Elon Musk. Sorry, Trump dancing in the White House room, right? And remember when his kid went to Trump and he's like, "You're not the president."
Wait, when was that?
Bro, Elon Musk, I think his
Oh,
youngest,
X, Lil
his name is
X.
X. Okay, his name is Twitter. The same name as Twitter, right?
Yeah, his name's Lil X.
Basically, Elon was giving
Lil
like
X.
what is it called, bro? I don't want to get the terms wrong. What is the president's room called?
Oh, the Oval Office.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Oval Office. So he's in the Oval Office, and I guess the kid was obviously the kid, man. He's just gonna say
Yeah.
gibberish and run around. I think he went to Trump and he's like, "You're not president."
Cool times, cool times.
President, sure,
Yeah.
man. Yo, Trump, and this is so funny. I never seen it like the way it's like this guy has like a billionaire buddy. It's like just go and clean up everything, man. You have the resources, like
Yeah,
go
they're
do it. You're a
both
technologist.
billionaires, and it's like the cool part is they have nothing to gain from it because they're already. It's not like you can make any more. Like you have maxed out wealth, so it's like
We
kind of
gotta
like
hop on that though. We gotta get a piece of that Doge. These little kids that are running Doge, like I think they're
yeah.
smart. I
It was
rate
just
them.
like it was just awesome. Yeah,
Yeah, and I
a lot
think
of
we
lot
have
of lot of hackers like yeah doing your
exactly, and I mean I saw that I saw some of their LinkedIn's, but I feel like that's an avenue for us, bro. For Nexa for the government side, I would love to make the labor department more efficient, guys. If you're watching this and you want to be a part of that, we're here. We're looking for Doge. We're looking for you guys. I mean, we can provide a lot of value. If anybody, if Doge sees this, if he not,
yeah. We're working with a couple of counties
yeah.
workforce boards right now, and can obviously make everything more efficient. The labor department. So
Well, that now that you brought it, I want to ask you. So, what do you suggest? Let's say, okay, cool. I want to talk about interviews before I end off, and I think I'll close it off there. When it comes to interviewing, and like I think that's the last, like that's the final kind of confrontation from you getting a job offer. I think is them seeing you interview. Either it's technical, cultural. What's the any tips, man? Like how you got a job at the Scale AI, which ended up being now like one of say that was a great idea. I didn't understand it when it came out, and that's my fault. Now that I'm because of Nexa and all the AI research that I do, it is amazing to tag data like that. I see the benefit in OpenAI as their client in terms of like data kind of tagging and
yeah, a lot
processing.
of lot of RLHF, so reinforcement training, reinforcement learning, which is super important. Tagging the data, basically prompt adjusting
So, what would
prompts.
you say for someone to like, because you have that experience? What would you say for someone to like guarantee the interview? Like, hey, I smashed the interview. Right? Anything that
So,
helps?
yeah, so I know people that are all these at these top FANG companies. What's important is being able to perform in a live scenario, a live coding interview, or a live
Okay, so the
behavior
technical
interview.
round needs to be A1.
Knowing the culture, super important.
Okay, knowing the culture, got it. Okay,
And
makes sense.
yeah,
Now,
it's a
how do you?
combination of this.
What would you recommend for like acing technical interviews? You
Yeah,
gotta say next time. Obviously,
use
there's a few
next
things,
time.
guys. You don't have to use our platform. I'm not saying that. I'm saying like he's like have your shit. No, like what are some good ways they can like? Hey, I got this in the park. I got to beat it out.
Yeah, just keep improving your skills. skills.
Okay.
Be good with your questions, data structure.
Okay, cool. So I would say everyone probably knows this. Like you guys probably use LeetCode, and I think we have a better alternative to it, being upfront, because we give you feedback, more help. It's just much more intuitive, and it's literally one of the best tools I use for coding, practice, which is like our Nexifying interview training. So this is not even me plugging it in. These are free tools, guys. It's not like you got to pay for them. And I'm saying this, yeah, obviously we built this, and I'm gonna say it, but also we want to help people. So if you don't like it, that's fine. Just tell us shit. Like it's not a big deal. But yeah, I feel like okay, cool, technical interviews. And yeah, as far as behavior goes, look at their culture, see what they're doing. I always like to ask really interesting questions that kind of throws them off. Like, what is this role gonna take off from man, or like why is this role being filled, or things like what are the top three skills the candidate needs? What is the trajectory look like from the candidate from 3, 6 months, 12 months? Ask them like, like what if you could have them do a major milestone in 6 months, what would that be? What would make you super impressed? When they see that, they're like, cool. Another quick tip before I go. If you guys start trying to solve problem, which is the role's open, guys, remember, you're the product. They're buying you for an art. If you could solve their problem also during the interview, they'll see an instant ROI from there. I always try to ask them, what are the problems you're facing at this role that's going to help alleviate? It's a great question because then it gives you insight on things you can just already try. I'm not saying go put out a piece of paper and laptops or working on the problem, but show them that, hey, I can solve this from day one. I'm ready. So shit, man, I think that's all I got for that. I hope that was helpful.
Yeah, man. It's been a good pod. Everyone, check out Nexa. Check out Kumo Space. No, I'm just kidding. It's a good virtual office environment, but no, sounds good. So yeah, I think that was a good one.